Yo, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. My name is SweetPhil, and today I'm bringing you a sick wind druid right here, and it's a little bit different than it was back in LOD. And I even have my mercenary set up a little bit different with some newer rune words on the mercenary that I think makes this build even better. So when we jump right into it here, I'm going to go ahead and show you the stats page, and off to the side here, I'm going to go ahead and show you some example gameplay. Feel free to, when you get to the end, maybe you don't want to look back and forth, you want to really pay attention to what I'm doing, feel free to come back and rewatch it to see the gameplay, to see how much this thing absolutely slaps, to be perfectly honest. When we're going ahead and jumping in, looking at the stats page, so just enough strength to wear your gear, we have just over 156, and you've probably seen the little shield on that druid, so you know what I'm rocking over there. No points in the dex, and I capped out the vitality with everything else, nothing in energy. Pretty standard max fighter build. Now you see the resistances, they're not great. Now I built this for magic finding, and I never ever at any point have an issue with this build due to all the life. And to be perfectly honest, I don't even know how sometimes, but I can completely face tank souls with no problem, and I never have a problem with really anything. I am a big proponent of the whole how much does it cost you for how much benefit does it give you. So I am not going to put more resistance just to cap out them on this particular character if it doesn't effing matter. So I went ahead and just left them where they're at, and I never have an issue of any kind. Now we'll jump over into the skill tree, and we'll start off with the elements because this is a NATO druid, so obviously we want to cap out tornado and all of its synergies. You see there's 3 of them, and there are actually other skills that you use as well, so that's great. So we definitely use cyclone armor, so you go ahead and cap cyclone armor. Twister you can use if you need to. I don't ever touch it because the damage is so much lower than tornado, but if you want to, it does stun stuff when you use it. Down here we got maxed out tornado, obviously that's our main damage dealer, and another main damage dealer, and also it does cold damage, so we actually have physical and cold damage, so it chills enemies and slows them down, kind of gives you some more survivability. On top of that, it gives you dual elements, so you have cold here from hurricane and you have physical from tornado. Coming over to shapeshifting, super easy, don't do nothing here. Now you come over to the skill tree for the summons. Now these are a lot of 1-point wonders with the exception of Oak Sage here. This is where I put all of my remaining points, and any future points I do get, I'm going to keep putting them in here. All it does really is, it'll bump up the life on the Oak Sage, and you get a little bit of a max life boost there too, I do believe. But it doesn't seem like it's a lot, really, from 1 point into this, which gives you a level 19 with all my plus skills, Oak Sage, to level 39. It's only a couple hundred life, but between that couple hundred life, you boost it with your battle orders on your call to arms. It really helps out the survivability quite a bit. Now, when we look over at the summons, back in the day, you didn't really use a ton. You would only really rock the bear. But now you can have all these summons up, and they kind of help you out. They tank some stuff. They do actually do some damage. So you can use as many of these or as few as you want. Now, I don't use the ravens when I'm going around. You can kind of see it in the gameplay off to the side. But I do use all of the spirit wolf, the dire wolf, and the bear. And these almost essentially never survive. Every once in a while, you'll see a spirit wolf that, where did it go? It disappeared. You bring another one back. It's not a big deal. You can pick and choose which ones you want to use, but I would recommend right there, use these 3 down here. Now, glancing at the gear. Now, this is a pretty standard caster setup, and there are some other options in some spots that I would tell you can go ahead and use. But if you're going for endgame here, obviously we got Heart of the Oak and a Spirit. You could go dual spirit budget early on if you really wanted to. Now up on the helmet here, I went with Shaco because I'm primarily a magic find character. You can obviously use Jalal's main. That's a great option for literally any druid. Or if you want to throw on one of those 5 NATOs, that'll give you even more damage. Personally, I wanted the all skills that actually boosts up the battle orders a little bit more. And obviously the 2 skills helps all your skills. Also on top of that, life and a bunch of magic find. Like I say a bunch of times in this video already, I'm primarily using this for magic find. Over on the amulet, for this particular setup, if you have it set up the way I do, having at least a 5 FCR amulet over here is crucial. That gets you to 100 FCR, which will get you over the 99 breakpoint. So a 2 druid skills, 5 FCR amulet, throw on over here. Here, Enigma. You're going to want to be able to teleport around, obviously. On top of that, all the other good stuff that's on Enigma magic find with physical damage reduction, strength, tons of great stuff. You all know about it. Down here we have chance guards. If you need to get more FCR over here, you could throw on the Trang's gloves or even the mage fist if you wanted to, but I did not. I'm at, like I said, 100 on this build. Perfectly great place to be. Now we rocking 2 SOJs on the rings, a bunch of different options here. I'm not running around, so I don't worry about cannot be frozen really. So 2 SOJs, a couple skills, bunch of mana. There you go. Arachnid's Mesh. Primo option here at the belt. And over on the boots, I went ahead and threw on the alders just to bring the fire res up to the approximate level of the other ones, since the Spirit Shield does not have any fire res on it. Looking down in the inventory, we have all elemental skillers. I decided you can choose where you're farming if you need to or not, but I threw in a physical Sunday right here to break any of those physical immunes. It definitely helps out. You do have dual spec damage, but the cold will be incredibly slow. This speeds it up ever so slightly for those physical immunes to get them taken out. Obviously, Geeds and Annie and Torch. Down here, I'm a magic finder, so I went ahead and threw magic find charms. If you want to throw all res down here to go ahead and cap that out, you can go ahead and do that if you would really like to. Like I said, I didn't see any reason to do that because, as you see from the gameplay, I'm never in any issue at all. Now, over on the other side, we're obviously going call to arms with another spirit. Now, taking a look at the Mercenary, this is a different setup than really I've ever rocked on a character like this. I actually went with the Prayer Mercenary, and we've got Insight, Cure, and the Chains of Honor. Yeah, this is the setup I usually would use on an Energy Shield Sorceress. Now, if you wanted to have him do more damage, you could go ahead and do things like a Reaper's Toll over here if you wanted to, or you could just do the standard Insight. You could do Indar's Visage and Fortitude, or Tal's Mask and a Treachery over here. And you could go ahead and use the Cold Mercenary as well, the Cold Aura. That's perfectly fine. That gives you even more safety, but the Cure, getting rid of the poison damage, that's the only thing I kind of ever have issue with. The Cure gets rid of it super fast. On top of that, it gets rid of any of the amp damage and all those different things. Let's say, heaven forbid, you get a Blood Mana Curse on you as well. Obviously, Insight bringing your life back up, and then you need your Life Leech for your Mercenary, which you get right here on top of that, capping out his res. Damage demons, all that kind of stuff. So the Prayer, Cure, Insight combo, the way it works on the Energy Shield Sorceress, this is not as drastic. It's not as insane, but it does heal you back kind of quickly, sort of. You can kind of look down on the gameplay over on the side and see how fast it does or does not heal you, but it does heal you back. And like I said, all of these items from the Cure and the Insight also help you out, obviously mana and keeping you alive just from the cleansing aura on it as well, the way it was intended. So I really actually love this option on this particular character. And we'll go ahead and take a quick look at the advanced stats page right here, and you can take a look at everything. Feel free to pause if you want to take a longer look, but we got Gold Find, Magic Find, 300 Magic Find, a sick place to be right there. Like I said, without that Shaco, you're going to be down at what, 215 or something like that, 225 maybe it was. So you know, it's up to you whether you want to do that or not, if you want to look more the part by wearing a Druid pelt or not. And then you can take a look at everything else here. Hit recovery, where was the faster cast rate, which was, I'm on the wrong hand. That scared me for a second. 100 faster cast rate on the main hand here for teleporting around and casting those tornadoes. So there's the Windy Druid setup I'm rocking. Make sure you go ahead and use this one because it's incredibly fun. It's different. Not a lot of people use the Druid, and it is a fun character. Yeah, it's not the Hammerden. Yeah, it's not the Mosaic Assassin, but it is super, super sick to use. If you end up using it, head down on the comments and let me know, or anything you like to change around when you rock this build out. Feel free to hit that down in the comments as well. Peace out, fellas, and keep slaying.